Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about is my room app, my project. In here you can check my poster. It is divided in three different parts. We have the first part is my logo, is my room. We have the motto of my project, of the app. The next part we have different parts of my home page. You can check, there are different icons, and we have the name of my project. In the second part we have the abstract of my project, and in the third part we have some adjectives, questions, population, and literature. The first part, we have the logo. It's based on listening skills, so for that reason we have the headphones. In here we have the motto of my project or the app, that is Let's Listen and Learn Together. As I told you, the app is based to enhance or reinforce the listening skills. And in here you can check the name of my project, that is my room, creation of an application to the reinforcement of listening in EFL, English as a foreign language. Then we have the abstract of my project, that it says, there is a lack of listening comprehension and practice in English as a foreign language class in 42 students of a public school. According to the observations and journals made in the pedagogical practicum, English class is focused on reading comprehension and vocabulary learning. The head teacher uses Spanish in the 70% of his class. Due to that, the students do not understand the instructions and listening activities gave in English by the preserved teacher. Seeing that the listening activities took a long time because they did not comprehend the idea or vocabulary used in audios or videos. Additionally, I applied a survey to know which ability the students wanted to improve, and conforming to this survey, 88% of the students want to enhance or reinforce their listening skill. Considering the results of the analysis, the main purpose of this project is to reinforce listening comprehension found in multimodality theory by the New London Group. The objective of this theory in second language education is to describe the process of integrating different semiotic sources, such as written, verbal text, images, and sounds to make or represent meaning. This project wants to create an app called Smile Room to integrate the ICT and multimodality to reinforce listening, particularly distinguishing word boundaries, recognizing a code of words, and interpreting word order patterns and their significance using authentic materials such as videos, podcasts, images, audios, and interactive exercises. To achieve my objective, I want to apply a multimodal environment and online materials like videos and audios through my app. In this app, the students will find different kinds of exercises using online materials in order to enhance listening, to identify word boundaries, and to understand different instructions in English. I want to implement a multimodal environment in which multimedia content will contribute building listening skill in these students, and I want that this app will help them to face this fear and indifference in front of English class. The purpose of the Smile Room app is to reinforce listening in English as a foreign language in aid to learners through online authentic materials. Additionally, the purpose of this study will be to describe the use of multimodality method in the reinforcement of listening comprehension using the Smile Room app for ninth graders in a public school in Bogota. Listening teaching has been a neglected area because there is a general belief that being able to speak, read, and write is a parameter to be able to claim that the learners are proficient in a language. With this project, I want to encourage pupils to develop listening, particularly in distinguishing word boundaries, recognize a queue of words, and interpret word-ordered patterns and their significance through online materials. I decided to work with this skill based on my experience with the population of my research. The stand of my teacher's journals, English classes focus on reading comprehension and vocabulary. The students do not understand instructions and some vocabulary. Based on that, they do not participate in class. There is a lack of listening practice in class, although the school has a curriculum. It is not implemented and students are working on different topics. In the third part of my poster, I have the general objective, the research question, the population, the problem statement, and the literature review. First part of this section is the general objective of my research. That is, to reinforce listening comprehension in ninth graders through a Smile Room app using multimodality method and online materials. Additionally, I have three different specific objectives. The first is to analyze students' processes in EFL learning in a multimodal environment. The second is to examine the role of multimodality and online authentic materials in the reinforcement of listening comprehension. Those are the objectives for my research. Also, I have different objectives for my creation. The general objective of my creation is to create a complementary digital tool for the enhancement and reinforcement of listening comprehension in A2 EFL learners. The specific objectives of my creation part are: the first, to create online interactive activities which will be used in the digital tool. The second is to design oral materials related to Bogota context. And the third is to develop innovative explanations and activities. As I told you, I had to create two different kinds of objectives in order to qualify or to achieve the objectives of my project that are totally different for the creation part and for the research part. The second part of this section is the research question. The research question is: what is the role of a Smile Room app in the reinforcement of listening comprehension in ninth graders at a public school? The third part of this section is the population, which is an homogeneous sampling. The participants are 10 students in average age between 14 to 16 years. They are ninth graders who have cell phone and computer in their homes and have an A2 English level and that have a lack of proficiency in English listening comprehension. I chose this group of students because they share the same characteristics. And the fourth part of this section is the literature review. In this part, I decided to have two different constructs. The first is multimodality and second language acquisition. I have 4 different authors that helped me a lot to build my document and to build this project. The first is the New London Group in 1996, who developed a theory on multimodality. The second is Creación in 2010. Then the third is Lewin in 2005. And the last is Jewett in 2006. Additionally, there is another point that is called Research on Multimodality in Teaching in ESL, where you can find different research or studies developed with multimodality in teaching. They used a lot of audios and images and videos to teach, and it helped a lot the students. The second construct is listening comprehension in ESL. I have different authors like Brown and Jewell in 1983, Ure in 1984, Rose in 2002, and Hamura 2013. The second part is research on listening comprehension in ESL. This studies contribute to my project with guidelines to innovate in English class. I want to enhance listening skills through Smart Room app and multimodality. Some authors mention that technologies have begun to change the way that English is learned and give certain start cases and tools to apply in a real context. Different works present different ways to enhance language skill through technology. Besides, the factors and variables identified in these studies cover a varied length of population. The authors of reference for these studies have worked over the multimedia content used for the ESL class, which is very useful as a persuasion aspect as an action to use technology in the classroom. The references revised provides the principles and the justification to carry out the project. These studies cover a similar length of population. For that reason, they are applicable to approach with 9th graders. As a technique that authors developed, their investigations may be enforced to a different context and different methodologies. Furthermore, I'm going to talk about data collection strategies. The data collection strategies will be observed data and written and other visually presented data. So in this case, I'm going to work with written data, which will focus on the materials, activities, assignments, and exercise applied in the lessons, and certain documents, materials, and exercise. Then the data collection techniques will be students' artifacts, research journals, and teachers' materials. In consonant with Stewart and Cummins in 1993, artifact collection emphasis on collecting pertinent traces, props, or products used by research participants, or that are relevant to the problem area being studied. Artifacts come in many different forms, including text, lists of objects, drawings, photographs, and others. Considering these, the students' artifacts to collect in this study are some reading exercises, check your understanding activities, and self-assessment in the My Room app. Those will help to see the listening enhancement through the app. Additionally, in this study, the research journals will record the class process and outcomes. The pre-service teacher will record the journals for each session. Finally, the teacher's materials to be analyzed will be the syllabus of the My Room app course and the datasheet of each module of the course. It will be analyzed at the final stage of the research in order to see if the material and the organization work in their process. The My Room app will be divided in 5 different modules that will help the students to reinforce listening. I already have developed the syllabus, the models, the data sheets, and the main objectives are going to be to understand instructions in English, to distinguish word boundaries, to interpret word order patterns, to guess the meaning from context, and to use the SMI app to enhance listening.